Welcome to my workshop. You are watching Casual DIY channel. If you are wondering what is the best practice, the best way to cut sheet materials so you won't have any tear out, especially if you want to cut a veneered material, veneered sheet goods, or a melamine boards like the chipboard I've got just over here, so you're not going to get any tear out or as little as possible, well, you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to go through a few options on how to cut these types of boards, and we'll see which one works best. I'm going to have two saws in today's test. One is a Hikoki with 24 teeth, and the other one is a track saw from Evolution with 16 teeth. So that will be a challenge with that blade to actually get a really nice good finish, but maybe the way the track saw is will give us better results. Let's find out. First of all, let's try to understand why we are getting tear out or chip out on the top part of our board. Okay, so let's have a look how a saw operates, like a skill saw or a track saw. Okay, as you can see, the blade is spinning this way. Okay, so it's anti-clockwise, and the teeth of your saw are digging into the piece of material as you are going through. They are digging from the bottom upwards, so the material here is actually supported by the body of the board itself. As the blade is leaving the board at the top, is pulling the melamine part or the fibers on the top of your board upwards, and there's no support on top. There's nothing holding them back on the board itself. So with the blade itself, it's quite easy to get that chip out or get the tear out as the blade is leaving upwards. That's why with a circular saw of this type or a track saw, you usually get tear out or chip out on the top of your board. However, the bottom usually is nice and clean. So first of all, I'm going to use the Hikoki circular saw to make a series of cuts in different ways, and then we'll be able to compare which technique is the best. First of all, let's do just a plain straight cut, full depth of the blade. And check out the results. A lot of chip out all the way on the cut. Let's have a look at the other side. And as I mentioned, on the other side, you've got a nice, perfect, crisp cut with no chip out at all. So just to prove that, that's the side that we need to take care of to make sure we've got a nice and perfect cut. Right then, let's try something else. Quite often I hear about techniques using some masking tape. So I've got two types here. One is the super cheap masking tape you can get for about, I don't know, £1 or maybe £2. And the other one should be better quality, but more expensive. So we're going to see if the tape actually makes any difference and the quality of the tape, if that is making any difference at all. First of all, the cheap tape, just make sure it really sticks well to the board itself. And now the better quality tape. Right, let's make the cuts. Okay, let's check out the results. I'm going to take off the tape. As you can see, using the cheap tape made more or less no difference whatsoever. Is as bad as the first cut. So let's check out the more expensive tape. And again, very similar results. Not much difference between the three cuts. As you've seen, the tape trick is actually not producing better results at all. It's time for another method, another way of cutting this piece. Now, we're going to do it in several passes. We're going to go 3 times through this board. First of all, we're going to scorch the surface of this board, and you need to set up the blade to be sticking past by about 2 millimeters, maybe 3 tops. After that, we'll increase the depth of the blade so we are in about half of the way of the board, maybe 3/4. And the last pass will be at full depth. Right, let's check out the results. Now, ignore that bit, that was me moving the saw itself. And as you can see, it's a lot better than the other three. Still get a bit of chip out, but overall, a lot better. This last option I want to show you could be a little bit dangerous if you don't do it properly. We're gonna introduce a climb cut. Okay, so hang on, how does it work? Basically, we're still gonna go in 3 stages. First of all, we're just gonna skim the surface. So again, about 2 millimeters of the depth to be set up on your saw. That first pass will actually be backwards, okay? So we're gonna attempt a climb cut with the circular saw. I don't recommend this method to absolutely anybody. And to be fair, I have never done this before. So we're going to see how good this method actually is and how safe it is to do. And again, for this, you're going to need some sort of an edge guide to guide your saw. I think we can see straight away this has given us the best results comparing to the other options. This is nearly perfect. Small chip out here, but overall quite good. Now remember, the blade that we are using is 24 teeth, so that is not a finished blade, and you're still going to be able to achieve a result like this. So what do you think about the climb cut with a circular saw? For me, it was a little bit awkward. Probably if I positioned myself a little bit better, it would be a little bit easier. Obviously, taking up the blade guard, that could introduce some safety risks there, guys. However, I'm actually quite surprised at the quality of the cut. And again, remember, the blade in this saw is only 24 teeth, so it's no way in shape or form dedicated to give a nice, clean and straight cut. I would actually suggest blades that are 60 teeth or higher for these types of cuts. But with a proper technique, you can see what you can actually achieve even with 24 teeth. Now I'm going to use the Evolution track saw with a blade that has got 16 teeth in it, although it's a multi-cutting material blade, so it cut through steel as well. So we'll see how that's going to perform on a melamine board, and I'm going to do exactly the same tests. Normal plain cut, as you can see, plenty of tear out, as bad as the normal circular saw. Next, tape 1, as bad as well. Tape 2, also really bad. Now we've got the 3-stage cut. This is actually a lot better, as you can see. One edge is really nice and clean. The other one, not so much, but better than the other 3, that's for sure. And now, the climb cut, as you can see again, is the cleanest one. Yeah, you do get some chip out there, but it's definitely far better than the rest of them. Today's test is about the technique itself, not about the blades that much. Hikoki, 24 teeth. And in the last option, we really managed to get very, very decent results. Evolution, that's 16 teeth, and that's a multi-purpose blade as well. And again, the fourth option seemed to give the best results. Now, if you were to put better blades on these saws, at least 60 teeth, so fine blades, the results would be far, far better. And I'm pretty certain option 4 would be absolutely perfect, with no chip out at all. So, with the correct blade and the right technique, you can really achieve fantastic results. Now, let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about the climb cut? For me personally, it felt a little bit awkward as I'm not used to that motion. Was it dangerous? I don't think it was. I wasn't feeling that I was losing control over the tool at all. It was just hard to get used to it, if you know what I mean, as I am used to a different type of motion. But as it clearly shows, it really gives the best results. Usually the technique I use is the 3-stage one, so slight cut about 2 millimeters deep, then 3/4, and then the full size of the board. And that usually gives me decent results without using the tape. As you've seen, the tape trick is not really working. But hey, that's my opinion. Let me know down below in the comments if you've got another way of cutting boards of these types, melamine or veneered or any other problematic boards, to get really nice, good results. However, if you are interested in jigs, workshop projects and everything else, I've got some really cool playlists just for you. So hopefully you're going to click on one of those, and I'll see you on one of those videos there. Take care.